What's up, Etsy sellers? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dave. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I do new videos on Etsy all the time. Today, we're going to be talking about keyword research, how I like to go about it, what I consider to be the quickest way to go about it as well. We're looking for the data. We're looking for the quickest things we can take action upon if we want to use a keyword, if we don't want to use a keyword. And we're going to start on Etsy. So if you like any of the tools I'm using today, I'm using 3 different tools. You know, you don't have to subscribe to 3 different tools, but as a coach and as a seller, I like to use 3 different tools. I don't like to subscribe just to one tool. But if you like any of the tools today, definitely you can check out the links in my description. They're affiliate links and it helps support the channel. If not, no worries. We're still going to be looking for new keywords and showing how I do that. So we're going to start inside of Etsy. And I'm going to start with gifts for pets because we might as well look at some cute animals while we look for keywords, right? Or show how we look for keywords. So here we go. Yeah, this one, definitely. Let's look at that one for sure. Wow. Okay. All right. So Everbee is a plugin for Chrome. That's why I like to use it while I'm on Etsy looking for different keywords. I'm gonna make examples as if I was a seller for each one of these products and maybe critique a little some of these products as well. So definitely this is for everybody. This video is definitely for everybody. Everbee likes to show you, the estimated monthly revenue, the age, and all this kind of things right off the bat. So this is really useful. Using Everbee while you're browsing Etsy is really useful because if you see a listing, the listing age is really relevant for a multitude of reasons. And then the estimated monthly revenue is obviously very important if you're going to, look at some of the keywords that they're using. A new feature that Everbee implemented is that they now have keyword research and they're using the API, the Etsy API, to estimate monthly searches on Etsy. So that definitely helps. I used to take the keywords from Everbee and go straight over to Marmalade, but for now, I don't need to. So 80s comedy. So we have personalized 80s style pet portraits, digital art group portrait. If I was the seller, definitely this title is pretty short. Depending on the niche. Now this is a big caveat, however you say it. It depending on the niche, you can go with short titles and it does really well. But with this one, I would do a little bit longer title. My personal preference is that you don't use dashes or bars because you have to use an extra space for it. But I mean, it doesn't really matter because you're not supposed to keyword stuff the entire title anyway. It's just not a good practice. But either way, I don't like the dashes. That's just personal preference. It has not make or break whatsoever. So they don't have personalized. Oh, they do have personalized 80s style pet portraits. That's really cool. I bet you the shop is going to do good. Let's check them out a little bit. They only have 3 listings. That's cool. That's funny. Let's look at all their products here. You can go to a store and look at all their products like this with Everbee, which is pretty cool. So this is the one that's doing the best, the cat one. So let's look at the cat one real quick. Personalized 80s style pet. Okay, single pet. Yeah, that's really cool. Wow, these are pretty epic. Product analytics for this one: 80s comedy, digital art, funny. I would add gag gift in here. Gag gift. I wouldn't definitely. One thing to stay away from, I like to always recommend, is stay away from one-word keywords or one-word tags, because it's always going to have the algorithm asking you what. Like in this one, you can see down here, comedy what, custom what. That's what the algorithm's asking, and you're potentially being thrown into a large, group of potential search results. And if you get it, and the algorithm's going to give you a chance to rank for some of these words, on small scales. Like, so if you just get thrown 10,000 impressions for the word funny, and then it's a pet portrait. So if you get 10,000 impressions for the word funny and not even 1% of those people click through, then that's gonna hurt your click-through rate, and therefore that's gonna hurt your ranking. So that's why that's like the actual reason why you don't want to use one word tags. You want to have an adjective and a noun in your tags because you're going to be potentially ranking yourself for a bunch of different stuff that is totally irrelevant. And the best case scenario is that you're going to get tire kickers that don't buy, and that's going to decrease your conversion rate. So that's one of them. So over here, pet portrait. This is let me demonstrate now the difference between all the apps that estimate search results. So each search, this is a common question, and maybe they each paint a different picture, right? Marmalade, every one of these apps, they describe how and why they come to these conclusions with these numbers. It's not the actual numbers. Etsy's not telling you that. I'm not a developer. I'm not completely familiar on how these apps are coming up with these numbers. But from as far as I know, if Etsy's API was literally telling the app developers how many times a thing was searched, then we probably wouldn't see estimated search results or past search results or something to that degree. We would see actual search results. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not a developer. I'm an Etsy coach. So here is Pet Portrait. Everbee is estimating 662 monthly searches on Etsy. So let's put it into Marmalade, Pet Portrait, and see what comes up, because it's going to be a different number. And then we're going to go to eRank and we're going to see what that comes up with. And that's going to be a different number. This is why I use all three, because what I found is not Pet Portrait. Marmalade compared to eRank, Marmalade is estimating in the future, and they're more strict. eRank is the past 12 months. So that's a different picture for you big time. And then eRank or Everbee is a estimated. So they're in the future too. So Pet Portrait, 4,540 searches estimated for the next month. So you can see here the number of unique searches this keyword is expected to generate with the next 30 days. And Marmalade even says right here, while everyone else is using old data to make guesses, you have access to forecasting based on actual shopper search volume. The bar meter you're seeing is calibrated based on millions of searches from real shoppers. So that, Etsy does tell them something. I mean, they would have to go off something. Again, I'm not a developer, so I don't know for sure what the Etsy API says. But check this out. We're going to go to eRank now, and we're going to type in Pet Portrait. This is why I like to use multiple tools. And if it's in your budget, you should too. If you want to support the channel, you can go and sign up for Marmalade and Everbee through my affiliate links. That'd be awesome. But if not, no worries. So Pet Portrait, the last 12 months have seen 19,000 average searches, 19,000 average monthly. So 19,000 per month on average the past 12 months. So that's really powerful. I mean, and unless we ban pets tomorrow, people are going to keep looking for pet portraits or whatever it may be. Pet gift, let's just see what pet gift comes up with. And then we'll get back to some keyword research, but I just wanted to paint this picture of how apps interpret data differently. So pet gift, 531 per month. Okay, that's interesting. So that tells me, what does that tell us? That tells us that people aren't looking for pet gifts. They're looking for something specific when it comes to their pet. I guess they're looking for portraits way more than gifts for their pets. I don't know. So let's put pet gift into Marmalade and see what they estimate for the future. Then let's go back to Everbee and see what they're estimating, because Everbee now is a new feature. Since I've made a video, the last video I made on Everbee, they didn't have the SEO feature, so that's new and exciting. Everbee is free to sign up for too. You don't have to put your credit card in. So that's really cool. You can try it out for the trial. It's just a Chrome extension. So pet gift, it's not looking good on Marmalade. See, so see, this is a situation where Marmalade's a lot more strict. And I remember like 3-4 years ago when Marmalade made a few changes within a few months of each other, and it definitely made it more strict. Which is a good thing, in the long run. You don't want to be going all willy-nilly. right? Adopt a pet. Why is that suggested? I don't know. Adopt a pet on Etsy. Who is typing in adopt a pet on Etsy? That's weird. We got to get to the bottom of this. Okay. Adopt a pet, birthday sign, certificate. Okay, just okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, all right. Pet adoption stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. But I don't know why somebody would type in adopt a pet. Like pets aren't for sale on Etsy. Hey, but you never know. Okay, so let's move backwards. Let's go back to Everbee and let's type in, we were at pet portrait. So let's do pet portrait on Everbee. So they tell you this average search, their estimated search amount for each month, but then they tell you a bunch of keywords and their estimated search results too. So that's pretty, this is super quick. Like if you're on Etsy looking for new keywords, etc., Everbee is your like stop, your first stop. And then when you really want to dig into it, well, this is how I do it. When I really want to dig into it, then I take some of these, or, you know, if we're on Etsy and we're on a specific listing, I'll do the product analytics, and I'll be able to look at their tags. And then I take those tags and I put them into Marmalade. So you can see here that blue adoption, like what blue pet adoption. I don't know what that means. But it's it doesn't look like a good keyword for them. I don't know. Maybe it's probably an industry pet adoption thing. Somebody's going to correct me in the comments. I don't know. I thought I knew my pet lingo. I have a AKC registered puppy, so you would think I know pet lingo. But I digress. So you take your keywords using Everbee and you put them into Marmalade, you check them. And if you're unsure, because a lot of situations are like you're in a niche where the keywords are like few and far between and you're stuck in a box. You're kind of really stuck in a box. That situation is a situation that calls for going over to eRank, because they're going to show you the past 12 months, which is much more actual than using an estimation. So there's different. So between the two estimating apps, Marmalade and Everbee, they're estimating differently, and then eRank is showing you the past 12 months. So it's really important to gather all this information, know how to discern through the information, and know how to take action through that. So in this video, we learned how to check keywords on Etsy, which apps I like to use. Let me know in the comments if you want to expand on some of these videos and expand on some of this. If you want to support the channel, definitely go check out the links below, and I'll see you in the comments. Have a beautiful day.